Afternoon all, how are we doing? Afternoon ladder, afternoon diamond. I feel like I've been beaten up this morning. What a painful morning. You ever had one of those days where literally every time you press the button, you get it wrong? Oh, I honestly feel like I've done 10 rounds with Mike Tyson this morning, trying to fight this DAX. And then it finally gives up the ghost and goes, all right, then I'll trend. And I got off. Oh, it's been a terrible morning. I come out of it $40 to the good. Look, $40. A whole morning's work for $40. Afternoon, Frank. So yeah, just this thing this morning's just been evil. So I've been in and out of this all morning. Sounds disturbingly familiar. Yeah, I literally have been in and out of this all morning. I got on an absolute beauty. This one. I timed this to absolute perfection. Look, right? This trade here. Can't really see now. I started re-looking at it here. When we got back inside here, I started re-looking at it here and I was like, right, okay, fine. So we came down to these lows and we were like, right, well, this is not breaking today. So I'm long. I'm going long for the session. So we pushed up into the highs, into this propulsion gap. Yeah, and it rejected. So I thought, right, as we're in the open here, I'll get into my position. So I got in with the EA at the opening range. And it pushed up and rejected the highs again. So that was the third rejection at the highs. Sound familiar? So I was like, all right, okay, we're going range bound today. So it pulls back into the propulsion gap perfectly and then pushes back out again. And as soon as it starts to push back out again, and it took that low out, I thought, I'm going to have you. And I got a long. I went long, basically. Stop under that low. So like how tight that stop was, it's 25 contracts long, 26 lots long. And then it pushed up and I got out in this propulsion gap. I've no idea why I got out at all. There's absolutely no reason to get out. And then it went, blah, 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 blah. That trade made me $500 from there to there. How much do you think that would have made? Sums up my morning. I got short here. $400 in profit. Closed it. Virtually nothing. Literally all morning, all that's happened to me this morning is I've missed $400. I've missed $400. I've missed $400. I've missed $400. I've missed about $5,000. And I've come out with $43. And look how many trades I've taken. Well, me and the EA between us. It's literally been like, I'm absolutely exhausted. Can't be bothered this afternoon. Afternoon, Warren. So yeah, anyway. Ugh. And then Euro Swiss. So the news, nothing happened on the news. So I thought I'll put a trailer on my Euro Swiss trade. Because just when the news was coming out, obviously we had the US dollar news, and if that was going to be a big mover, obviously money would be dragged out of these other currencies. If the US was going to crash, it would go into the Swissy. So I thought I'd put a trailer on it, just in case. Yeah. Look at where my trailer was. Look at the bottom of that candle. That totally sums up my day today. I couldn't get any more unlucky if I tried today. Honestly. Comes down, takes out my trailer, and then goes, It's just like, I give up. I was on the verge of just shutting all this lot out and putting this 0.25% in the bank and just walking away today. I really couldn't be bothered. I'm going to push on through. I'll tell you what, the DAX session better be bloody good this afternoon. So trading the pre-market 15 again today. We've got 5 minutes to the open. Slight adjustment on my set file today. I am going to trail by 20 points. I've made my break even 20 points as well. So there is a danger I could get a loss, a full loss, because the 10-point trailer is designed to get me out on whipsaws. But I'm going to extend that because what I found yesterday and the other days I've tried this set file, which is really good when it works, is that on candles like this, I get in, out. Well, not that candle, that's a bad example. On candles like this here, I will get in, out for break even, miss it. So using a 20-point trailer, I'm hoping I'll get in, that's fine. Then I will get break even and protect the position. So I'm slightly adjusting it. See how it goes. I'm still using a 20-point trailer because the whole idea of this set file is I want to capture one of those candles. That's it. Done. Thank you. So we'll see. So the pre-market 15 is making a 3-bar reversal at the moment. That is currently the pre-market 15. So I'm going to take a break of that and then I'll monitor the situation and I'll go over to manual mode if I need to. So yeah, so there's Euro Swiss. Got out of that one this morning. As I say, I've just been beaten to death. This morning it's awful. So New Zealand dollar CAD that I got into this morning, still in it. I've protected that at the news as well, just in case we got some massive whipsawing off the news. So the news basically was obviously CPI this morning didn't do anything for the euro much. Non-farm employment change was a negative. We didn't really get much movement off of it at all. So, oh God, I'm knackered. The PMIs this afternoon at 3 o'clock are the ones to wait for. So 2:30, obviously the market opens, 3 o'clock. We've got the PMIs coming out. So the first 30 minutes of the open this morning might be a little bit rocky. So yeah, interesting. And then obviously we got the Fed funds later. So I'm not expecting a big session, to be honest, but we will see. If I can grab 0.5% out this afternoon session, I'll call it a good day today. If I can make $500, I'll be happy with the session. So loads of movement. No ADRs. Nothing's moved far enough today to go anywhere. There's a lot of this today. London session fairly tight. Yeah. So we've had movement, but nothing's got anywhere near its ADRs yet. It's all kind of up down today. Nothing really gone anywhere. Very tight London sessions. Most of. I mean, look at the US dollar CAD. Yeah, how big tight is that? This thing's ready to pop. So is this. The US dollar today, they're just not interested. Yen, a little bit of strength on the yen. So we've had a bit of movement, money piling into the yen ahead of FOMC. A little bit of a safe haven move potentially, but not to any big respect. So nothing to look at really. RSI dash is pretty much the same as it was this morning for the ones that are lit up. But there's nothing really exciting to look at all. So all this is all pretty much the same as it was. There's been a little bit of sentiment change. Euros managed to gain ground against the US this afternoon, so this morning. So a little bit of sentiment change. We'll have a look at that. Oh, excuse me, in a minute. I really do feel, this is why I hate scalping. It's partly why I wanted to build these EAs, because scalping just can destroy you. Really, just makes you so tired if you do a full session. And I can't be bothered anymore. But anywho, so we'll watch the Nasdaq. Opening range is in. I'm nearly short. I am short. I'm short. God, that's whippy. Whippy McWixter today. Wow, that is whippy. We'll watch the Dow. See what that's up to. That is pretty whippy, isn't it? Okay, so we'll see if we can get. What's my TP on this at the moment? 1.5. So I'm going for 1.5 hour return on the opening candle. Oh, go for it, Dow. No. Wow, this is a nasty one, isn't it? These are the days, obviously, where you don't make money with the pre-market 15 when it whips like this. These are the days you want to be waiting for the 15-minute OR break. So getting stopped out, going long. Double-ended stop hunt would absolutely do my day today. This is probably what's going to happen. Divergence on the Dow and the Nas. Oh, this is terrible. Oh my God. Oh, I'm going to call it quits today. If I lose $1,000, yeah, I'm out. I've had it. It's not my day today. Just got to walk away sometimes. Not my day at all today. Both sessions just got it wrong. So I'll be back tomorrow. We'll watch the 15-minute opening range and we'll do some analysis on the FX pairs, but I don't think I'm going to trade this today. It's just not my day today. This is what happens to people when they get funded accounts. You fly through the evaluation, you fly through the second evaluation, you get your funded account, you blow it in 48 hours. Sound familiar? Lost count of the amount of times I've done that. Which is why I have so many evaluations running. Just market sometimes just does not want to give you a break. So 5-minute open is in. I might try and manually trade it with low risk. Su Young, what happened in market? What do you mean what happened in market? Fish market? Fruit market? It's a bit of an open question. Morning, Brian. Whippy open this morning. Be interested to see how much that would have cost. So that was $500, 18 points. That was the news. I would have got out on that. Highly likely I would have got out on that. Yeah, so it's only about $1,000, maybe 1,500 I would have made on that move. But them's the breaks, as Boris would say. 1 minute to the 5-minute is in. This thing is not interested today in a direction. So levels on the NASDAQ to watch today. Upside. The only upside we've got is 12,250 and yesterday's low and that propulsion gap. So 12,250 to the upside and yesterday's low. Dow. Last week's high and yesterday's low after that massive move. Lots of room both directions today. US 30 is strong, but NAS is weak. I don't understand. Well, it's just basically divergence. So they're both weak, look, at the moment. But yeah, I mean, they will move in different directions. They're different indexes, aren't they? Completely different stocks. This is all tech stocks. This is big corporates. Oh, this is just a nightmare. Look. If it hadn't have done that, that is another grand gone. This is the story of my life today. This really is. That's $1,000. That 5-pip move cost me $1,000. This is just what's happening to me today. You just get these days where the market just goes, yep, don't care what you're going to do. I'm having it. If I short this now, it's going to fly. So whatever I do, watch this stream. Whatever I do the opposite. Because I'm about to lose 2.5% of my account. I can guarantee it today. It's going to be one of those. Okay, so we're inside bar on the DAX, on the Dow. I might trade the Dow today, actually. Might be better to trade the Dow. We'll see. Just want to see what the Dow does. Okay, so Globex low is 12.031, which is down here. So I'm just going to watch this level as well. That's the Globex lows. So 5-minute opening range is in. Yeah, that's a 2R. That was a 2R again today. Just got taken out by that. So I got taken out by 3 points, literally 3 points. If that had not gone 3 points higher. That's my Euro Swiss trade, look. That's what did it. Euro Swiss. Oops. Me stopping out there on the Euro Swiss. Literally, they came down and went, oh, there he is. Right, off we go, boys. I'm not bitter. Still inside bar on the Dow. So I'm just adjusting my stop to the opening range, basically around about the opening range. Just give us an idea of what the volatility is. I don't want to place my stops too close. Might go 0.25% actually today. See if I can scrape some back. So I'm short on one of my other accounts on the 5-minute opening range. I've got one account running the 5, 10, 15 range. I've got one running the 15 range only, and this one is running the pre-market opening range breakout. So I've got all three of the main set files running. So I'm short on my other account. I'm trying not to watch my other accounts because it gives me a bias. If I'm short on something on another account, my brain is now thinking I need to go short because I'm short on another account. But obviously that other account could well be wrong. So trying not to watch my other accounts that I'm running the ORB strategy on because psychologically it actually affects you. I don't want this to go long in the back of my head now. So my brain is saying you shouldn't hit the long button on this, but that's obviously not true, is it? I should be going where I think the markets go. And it's short at the moment. I go one under the low there. So that's a 10-minute opening range break to the downside. Just watching the Dow for clues, because the Dow will quite often go first at the moment. So We've got 20 minutes until the news. So I'm hoping they're going to make a move before the news, but I've got a feeling we might be sitting here for a while waiting for the news to kick in. So, afternoon, David. So it might actually pay to do mean reversion up until the news this morning or this afternoon. Just because obviously we're 3 o'clock, we're waiting for that news to kick in. So we may well, and this is why I'm marking this Globex low. If we get down to that Globex low and we get a price action down here, we may well just push up and go range bound until the news, or potentially all day until we get to FOMC. So I've got new high of the session on the Dow. Just okay, going long one, cancelling that pending. Try a long one on the Dows. Dow's made new highs, sitting in this propulsion gap though at the moment, so we may well find that sellers kick in here, but yeah. I've got 2 minutes left on this candle. If the Dow doesn't make a new high and close on a new high, I'm going to get out of this. Looking to get that reversal alert in, get that structure break. Just to show there's more buyers on side, but there's not at the moment. DAX is looking weak as well. S&P's made new highs. One minute until candle close. And that's your 15-minute opening range then. So there's your 15-minute range in. As it stands now, obviously. David, if I got into a trade on a pair per retail sentiment being on the opposite side, trade doesn't go anywhere, and then sentiment changes, get out. So if the reason for the trade is sentiment and the reason for the trade changes, the reason for the trade is not there anymore. So get out. Up to you. There's two ways. Obviously, did make a new high. Just closing that. Yeah, basically, oh, I've just got PMI notifications. Oh, S&P manufacturing PMIs. Okay, slightly up. So yeah, I mean, if you're taking a retail sentiment trade and you've gone nowhere, if you're ever so slightly in profit, you can break even on it. If you're ever so slightly in loss on it, it's your choice what you do. You can either close it or you could tighten a stop on it or put a stop on it. But, you know, the reason for the trade, it's the same as anything. Yeah, if this comes down here today, whoops, and bounces, and I'm playing a reversal off of the Globex low, and then it closes back down below the Globex low, the reason for that trade was a bounce off the Globex low. If it's just proved me wrong, out. If sentiment is saying you need to be longing something and you get in long and it goes like that, and then sentiment goes flat, the reason for the trade is not existing anymore, is it? So close it. Dow's now making new highs. Nasdaq's being held down. We've got bullish divergence on this. It is bullish on the Dow anyway. So there's 15-minute. If you want to take the 15-minute opening range break, I'm 17%, 0.17% down on New Zealand dollar Swiss buy. Retail sentiment's changed. Retail, yeah, you should be selling it. New Zealand dollar Swiss, not buying it. Yeah, so right, okay, so when they're all long it, so you should be selling it. So you got in days ago, I presume, did you? Sort of end of January, 25th of January, when this was a sell. Yeah, so they were selling it, so it was a buy back then. If sentiment's changed and you're not gone anywhere, then yeah, get out. The thing with sentiment is you got this. Then this is the thing with sentiment. This is why I want to test this with an EA to just get me into these trades. Basically, the thing with sentiment is it works very well when the market needs it. When the market doesn't need it, so on New Zealand dollar Swiss as an example, you know, the whole idea behind sentiment is that the retail get it wrong. Basically, we know that retail use a lot of stops. Yeah, so they put stops everywhere, and that's basically why they don't make money. So they go short, they put a stop in the market, they get the stop taken out, they go, oh, I'm going to go short again, and put the stop, and I get out, and I go short again, I put my stop in, I get stopped out, and I go short again, and then I get a trade. So I bring myself back to break even and start the cycle again, and never make money. But the market, if the market has no big orders to execute there, or there's enough liquidity in the market for the banks to exchange in an area of balance where they're happy to trade and transact, and there's no need to go elsewhere for liquidity, it won't happen. And retail will not be stopped out or make money. So retail will exit the positions in one shape or form, and that sentiment will change because, as you and I do, you get into a trade. If it doesn't start working, you get out of it. You may have won, you may have lost, but you don't stay in a trade that's going nowhere a lot of the time. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Depends how you're trading, obviously. But that's why sentiment changes. So if the banks don't need to push up here because there's enough money and liquidity to get everything done here, they won't. So it'll only work when the banks need it to work. So yeah, if sentiment changes while you're in something, get yourself out of it. It's the easiest thing to do. So we've got the reverse alert on the Dow, and we've got 10 minutes to the news. So as you can see, we literally are just long, short, long, short, long, short at the moment. So the 15-minute, I don't really want to take. Oh, what am I doing? Yeah, I want to do live trading on this one. Thank you. So the ORB, I'm turning the ORB off, basically, because I don't want to trade this opening. This whole purpose of this is catching that, and I didn't catch it today, so I'm not trading that. The 15-minute opening range break is now in play, so that's what I'm going to trade. But we've got news, so there is a possibility of getting whipsawed out on this news. So what I'm going to do is move over to a 15-minute chart, and I'm going to straddle that last candle, yeah, with buy stop and a sell. Oh, hang on, buy stop last and sell stop last. So I'm taking the 15-minute opening range break, basically. If we can stay as an inside bar on 15 minutes before the news, fantastic, because hopefully the news will be able to just slam out one direction and it won't whipsaw that whole move. So that's the plan. I don't want a trailer. What's the size of that opening range? 55. So I don't want to trail that 200. I'll trail it at 40. I'll start trailing it quicker actually as well. So when I'm 20 points in profit, I'll start trailing by 40 points. And I will add as well. Or shall I add? We're going to get a big move. I suppose I might as well. I'm going to go for an add on 200. I go on tick because it might go fast. There we go. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm going to try the 15-minute opening range break. 15-minute opening range break is a little dangerous today because we are selling straight into support. So if we break out the lows today, don't get me in before the news. I don't really want to get in this long before the news in case the news tanks it. So I might be a bit premature on this. I'm just going to cancel those off for a sec. So yeah, if this goes south, we're selling straight into the Globex lows. So we're selling into support, which could well just do that. So it's more danger, I think, going south, but equally going north today, we're buying straight into Globex highs. So where we are at the moment, there's resistance and support in both directions, but going out onto higher time frames, obviously there's more movement as Globex sessions there. That's where I'd be looking to target on the high side and the low side, looking at yesterday's low. So there's a fair old run, probably a 2-hour return. I'll be putting on multiple positions because I'll get in and then I'll add as we go. But if that's what I would see doing, ADR today is only 50 points off, and obviously ADR low is yesterday's low. So a move down to yesterday's low, I'd say, is probably going to get exhausted. All depends on what happens with this news, doesn't it? If these PMI figures come out very, very, very unexpected and very, very good or very, very bad, we're going to get a very strong move. However, that move is likely to get undone at some point ahead of FOMC because they're not going to want to take large positions ahead of FOMC. Okay, so I'm going to go. What we've got 5 minutes until the close of this 15-minute candle. So I'm going to place a buy stop above there and a sell stop last underneath there. That's really what I would class as the break. So if you're playing the 15-minute opening range on the opening range breakout, you are already long. Afternoon, Alan. So bias scorecard, obviously nothing's changed because we have nothing change. Nothing's changed on COT. Retail has changed slightly though. Retail sentiment. So these are your top buys and sells from a retail sentiment perspective. Euro pound I'm looking at as a potential. Just going to watch this because I want to get these orders in a sec. But I don't want to put them in yet. Euro pound. At the moment, the market is massively short on this, so I like this as a buy. I've been watching this morning to see if we can get a move down. We're not. It's not going anywhere really. So any pushes down on this, I'll be looking for long opportunities on euro pound. Euro US dollar, I'm going to steer clear of US dollar today. Really. Swiss yen, I'm not interested in. The yen. Aussie New Zealand, I still like as a buy from a sentiment perspective. It is a sell overall though. And you can obviously see what all the main sells are. CAD Swiss being the main one still. I'm short on that at the moment, but again, it's just not going anywhere. This thing's just not going anywhere. So I'll keep getting in and I'll keep getting out. As long as this thing's just not going anywhere, I'll keep getting in and making money out of it. So CAD Swiss I'm still in, and obviously New Zealand dollar CAD. No, that's putting back on me as well. Just want to hit the reset button today. I'm trading with my Magic 8 ball today. Yeah, that's the best thing you can use, Brian, on FOMC days is the Magic 8 ball. That will work really, really well. Combined sentiment, we've got some sixes back again. Euro pound, that's why I'm looking at that one as a long. Yeah, so that's the strongest long out there at the moment, euro pound. Okay, we've got 1 minute 50 to the news. Let me stick financial. Should I put financial juice on? Yeah, stick him on. Turn him up a bit. Peloton shares jump after fitness company posts subscription revenue growth. %50 drop. So it's an uptake in subscriptions, a drop in equipment sales. So that's always January, isn't it? Everyone in January wants to get fit. Everyone's got fat over Christmas. Same at my gym. Afternoon, Luke. January's massively busy. February, no one's there. Everyone's doing dry January and fitness January.
1 minute remaining. I'll lead with US ISM manufacturing PMI.
Everyone's back on it. Okay, so they'll stop under that low. Actually, this candle. Sell stop under that low, high above there. Buy stop, going to go above there, stop under the low. Okay, get
10
ready.
seconds. $47.4, 47.4 lower than the forecast of 48. US JOLTS job openings 11.012 million, 11.012 million, higher than the forecast of 10.3 million. US ISM manufacturing prices paid 44.5, 44.5, higher than the forecast of 40.4. Seeing some upside in US dollar, some slight downside in stocks. US construction spending month over month, minus 0.4%, minus 0.4%, lower than the forecast of 0%. US ISM manufacturing new orders index, 42.5, 42.5. US ISM manufacturing employment index, 50.6, 50.6.
Okay. Mixed. So the PMIs, which is probably the most important figure, on. Forex Factory is rubbish. There we go. So ever so it's a slight miss, but we've had bad unemployment change for non-farm this morning, and we've just had good job openings. So there is more jobs on the market, but it's a complete mixed view. So there's not really any advantage either way, and as you can see, the market isn't really impressed in either direction either. So hopefully that is what the market's been waiting for, and we'll now get a trend into FOMC. So the 15-minute opening range, if we are going to get a move today, this is where I would expect the move now to begin from here. Now we've got that news out the way, the market can make a decision on what it wants to do ahead of FOMC. So if there's positioning ahead of FOMC they may want to do, then off we go. So we will see. But I'm going to just take the 15-minute ORB in either direction and hope we get a move. If we don't get a move, then it's just going to chop, isn't it? Nearly got stopped out in the New Zealand dollar CAD. So yeah, nothing exciting today. I know it's hard to figure out the yen right now, but Swiss yen has sentiment in its favor and is currently being dumped. Yeah, so go for it. Swiss yen. So from a buyer's perspective, the Swiss yen is a buy. If you take 2 off, what I would say with all the yens at the moment, with all these yens, take 2 off. Take off the interest rate change and the interest rate, because the yen is a -1. Always. Sorry, 0.1. That is the interest rate for the yen. It will be. It's not changing. It has been for years. They're not interested in changing their interest rates. If they do change that, obviously the yen's going to go mental. But so if you take a 2 off of all of these yens, yeah, that drops that down to still it's a 4 +4 buy. That's a +4 buy. That's a +5 buy. Yeah, a lot of it's COT because COT is short the yen, so you want to be longing euro, US, Swiss. So if you've got sentiment on side, yeah, go for it. Swiss yen long, take it. So yeah, this is a nice long buy now. Wait for a 5-minute reversal. Get in. I might actually do that with you. Pound US dollar just about to get a reversal alert. I'm going to take some yen for a fun. That was what I was going to move on to next, was looking at retail sentiment and try and get some retail on. So let's have a go at that one. Oh, come on, laggy. I've no idea what number I'm on. Oh my God, this is slow. The hell? Hello? New Zealand dollar CAD. I'm out of the New Zealand dollar CAD. Let's go 30. 31. Long. Go. So long Swiss yen when we get the reversal alert. Chop, chop, chop. They're really after you today, aren't they? Ladder, absolute slaughter fest today, down 2%. Yeah, not been an easy one, is it? I'm actually not too disappointed with a 0.97 loss. I was sitting in a 0.04 gain ahead of the New York Open, so I'm not. Yeah, it's just one of those days at the moment. You get them. We're in here and I'm sitting here making $2,000. So, you know, you just got to, this is why you look at that. Yeah. And that's all that is a 1% drop. It's not the end of the world. It's just 1% drop. I can get that back in 2 trades. I just need the market to actually slap itself around the face and go, oh yeah, I'm meant to be moving, aren't I? Rather than doing this crap. So since the market's opened, we've literally gone, and now we're on our way back. We ain't going anywhere. So it's either going to go out of this 15 or it's not. If it's not, worst case scenario really today is with this 15, I might lose one and stop out down here or not. In fact, what I'm going to do is change my trailers to candle close so that I'm not trailing 40 points immediately. Right, let's have a look at the FX market. Not that that's doing anything either. It is literally just going up and down. So, you know, it's a news week. There's nothing you can do about it. So these are the top retails at the moment. Euro, US dollar. Should I look at combined or not? Let's filter retail only. Look at it here. So going from shorts to longs. So CAD Swiss is a good short. I'm short already. It's still a short. So basically the whole market is long on this thing at the moment, and they've been long on it for days. So it's obviously been coming down. Today, obviously, it's not because I'm getting in. If I was a conspiracy theorist, I would be thinking that they've got a camera in there somewhere, and they're just waiting for me to hit the button at the moment. So yeah, CAD Swiss, like it's short, they're all long. Yeah, every time it comes down, they're hitting the long button, putting their stops in, getting taken out, and they're going to hit the long button because they've been taken out and got crossed. So they come down and take them out again. So they get in long again, and they rinse and repeat. Yesterday's low, there's a load of liquidity sitting under there at the moment because we've gone long in New York yesterday, held, pushed up a little bit. People have added in, seeing that that's pushed up. Then we've made a new high above there, and everyone's go, oh, it's a long breakout. Put their stops under here. If they haven't been taken out on the Asian sweep, their stops are under yesterday's low. That's where all the money is. So that's where I'm heading. So that's a pretty good one. Not that it's actually going anywhere at the moment, but pound odd and pound Swiss. So pound odd, that one was an RSI extension. So the move's obviously already gone, but I'll be looking for short opportunities on that if we can get back into that propulsion. So they may well come up and take the Asian high out and move into that propulsion gap. These are a little bit ambiguous, these propulsion gaps, because what you want in a propulsion gap is an accumulation and break. The propulsion moves to break a range, so becoming a breakout. And then obviously we retest the breakout. As you can see, this is an A-shaped move we had yesterday. There was no accumulation before these breaks. So it's difficult to see really where you would use these. ADR today, I would say, is probably a good spot. That is not a bad spot either. So if we do get a push up, there's a good short opportunity in there. And the pound Swiss, again, massive extension on the Swiss franc move. This is a potential fade move today, but even ADR, look, is only there. That's the propulsion move. That's the propulsion gap that started the move. That's where I would expect to find the sellers. So difficult one. You could take breakouts on these, potentially to the downside. Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar is mixed. So COT is short on that at the moment. Retail has flipped long. That was a really nice short, but retail's flipped long on it now. So I wouldn't really want to be trading that one in either direction at the moment. I'd rather be shorting it, but I want retail basically to be offside on it. I want retail to be the other way. So Market makers are avid watchers of this stream. Yeah. All streamers say that. Everybody that does lives thinks they're being watched. I get people all the time saying, if you're going to release that EA, can you only release 100 copies of it so that it doesn't get into the market, and then the market makers know that it's out there and they'll be hunting all the stops because they know how the EA works. Do you really think if I sold 100 EAs or put 100 EAs out there of any description, the market makers would even notice it? If I put 10,000 EAs out there and traded them on 10,000 accounts in retail, one order is going to squash the lot. Nobody's interested in us. We're amoeba on the sucker of a fly stuck on the bottom of someone's shoe that works in a bank. That's how small we are. There you go. That's a good analogy, isn't it? Really doesn't matter what we do. It's got nothing to do with market movement at all. Aussie and New Zealand, yeah. So at the moment, the market is all short on Aussie New Zealand. So therefore, retail is all short on it. So they're on side with COT. We don't want to be on side with COT when they're on side with COT. So waiting on that one. Again, same thing for New Zealand dollar Swiss. That's flipped. That was quite a nice long, but it's flipped. So New Zealand dollar Swiss was quite a big flip on that. But again, even these, they're just not really going anywhere at the moment. Nothing really is at the minute. Market's a little tired at present. Longs, Swiss yen, euro, US dollar. So Swiss yen, I'm going to get in. Oops, that's not it. On the next reversal alert, M5. So just waiting for a break. So if this keeps pushing down, that's absolutely fine. I will wait and I will get in when it pushes up. And we are not quite extended on the hourly yet, but we are inside the propulsion move. So this is a very, very, this Swiss franc move that we had yesterday is huge. Very, very large ADR hit. And it didn't just break yesterday's high, it broke last week's high as well. So in one day, we basically came out of this accumulation. Right? So if this is a breakout, and look where we went. Yeah. Don't tell me support resistance doesn't work. If this is a breakout, which is going to hold, yeah, we're going to break out and find support or find buyers back in the propulsion move, and then we're going to move. Yeah. So if this is money flowing into the Swiss franc as a safe haven ahead of the US moves, which I guess the banks are anticipating being negative, then we should see the Swissy start to power up a little bit more. But we didn't break that high. So there's a lot of limit orders triggered there, right? What does that tell you? Retail short. Where's the stops? Double top. Yeah, double top has always got way more liquidity than anything else. Why? Because everybody saw that. Everybody saw the limit orders trigger there. Everybody jumped in short. There's a massive amount of cash sitting there, ready to be grabbed. So Swiss yen, like that as a long. The market is short. Everybody is short on the Swiss yen at the moment. So I'm hunting that with the banks. So I like it, but there is also the possibility that the retail is right, and this is a failure, and the banks basically are not interested in the Swissy. Yeah, we don't forget we have had that issue with the Swiss, and we've also got that problem with the yen. At any moment, they can power up the yen and dump everything against the yen. Intervention. They do it all the time. So we'll see. But I like it as a long at the moment. I'm not in it until the market starts to show some signs of strength. So it doesn't really matter, does it? Euro US dollar, again, from a buyer scorecard perspective, I thought we were along on Euro US dollar. We're not. We're negative. Yeah, I've got no cotton board, have we? So yeah, Euro US dollar. Now, I'm not convinced about this US dollar at all, obviously, at the moment. The strength in the US dollar is very, very weak. So Euro US dollar at the moment, where are we? all up there, you can see it's the strongest retail sell out there at the moment. So basically, retail is shorting it, and obviously it's going up. So we've kind of missed the move on this one, and I think it's a little bit late to start trying to get into this. From what we've just had news-wise, if you look at the US dollar, we've had no joy with the US dollar yesterday. We've had news coming out, and there's just no movement on it. The market seems to me to be positioning itself short on this, which is either going to be one of two things, isn't it? A trap, or this is what they're actually going to be doing, because they're anticipating the Fed coming out and saying inflation isn't coming down at the rate we wanted it to. The soft landing isn't going to be as bad as we thought it was. So therefore, we are going to continue to up the rates to 5.25 instead of 5. So that would potentially start to weaken the US a little bit more. But we'll see. So it's difficult to tell where this is going to go. Hence me trying to keep out of the US at the minute, because I really don't know where it's going. That NAS is really not interested, is it? Look, can't get out that 15 at all. I'm starting to form a symmetrical triangle, so I might start to add in some more pending orders depending on how far this contracts, because we can only contract so far before we break. So I might start adding some more pendings. I'll give that another 10 minutes or so. So yeah, euro US dollar potentially is a long, but you're not going to long the euro US dollar at the highs. You long the US dollar on pullbacks. So I want this pulling back. That's not really a good propulsion. I mean, this whole move, there's not really anywhere in there. Might think about that, but I need to pull back. The other option, obviously, is you take a breakout, but you're buying straight into ADR and straight into last week's highs. So you're going to find some orders up there. So it's just not set up right at the minute. It's just not ready. US dollar Swiss, mixed sentiment. US dollar Swiss is a long. It's short from a retail perspective, so no good. And euro pound, I like that as a long. So euro pound, I'm looking to get into. I want it down here though. Again, it's gone, missed it. So that's a lovely long. The market is short. Retail is short. Yeah, so they've been seeing it come down. They've put their liquidity in the market. They've been selling it. Coming down, they've been selling it, it's coming down, selling it. Now they're taking out all the liquidity. So, you needed to be selling it in here, ready for the move, but we've missed it. So there's nothing I can see to get into, and I'm flat. So apart from those two, so I haven't really got much to get in at the moment. So I'm going to get in Swiss yen long. Pound New Zealand, I'm already in short. CAD Swiss, I'm in short. Pound US dollar, I'm waiting to get in short, but I need an RSI extension to the upside. We didn't quite get there. I don't think I'm going to get in short on that, so it's probably going to go without me. But New Zealand dollar CAD, I'm waiting to get in longs on. And Euro Swiss, I'm waiting to get in longs on as well, but it's just going up. So I'm struggling to get in anything at the moment. So hopefully I'm going to make some money out of the indices, but they need to do something like move. The market only watches our stops. Exactly. Yeah. Doesn't watch them. It just knows where they are. So it goes and gets them. Which is the whole premise of my Bootcamp course. Not that I'm promoting it. It's free. Go and watch it. That's why we don't use them. Because if you use them, you just get hunted. If you don't use them, you can't get hunted. You can't lose money if you don't put an order in the market to say, lose me money. Ta-da! This is like watching paint dry, isn't it? I might go and play The Last of Us. I've had to start playing The Last of Us again. I think this is the my fifth run through The Last of Us, because it's on telly now. So I'm struggling. It's very weird, this Netflix culture that we now live in. It's like, what do you mean you're only releasing one episode a week? You mean I can't binge watch the entire season? Huh? So in between, I have to wait an entire week, and I need a fix of The Last of Us. So I had to start playing the game again. And I'm probably going to finish The Last of Us by the time the season ends. So I'm going to then go on to The Last of Us 2 and finish that by the time the season ends as well. I love it. Last of Us, one of the best games ever made. If not the. I'm just going to shut the VPS down because it's noisy. I don't think we're going to get anywhere today. Anybody got anything else they want to look at or anything else they want to discuss? Because this is just slow today. Let's see what oil is doing. So oil, we're looking for this market structure pattern to continue. So this is where I got into oil and I got out yesterday. So this is one of the trades that got me over the line for the evaluations that long. So potentially we're in not a bad spot for longing at the moment. So this is kind of where I was looking for that long opportunity. So if we are going to continue structure, yeah, we need to make a new low somewhere in here. And then we're going to challenge those highs. So there's a lot of upside on this. Reversal alert on the hourly was there. M15s was yesterday. So yeah, like it as a long. It's not quite pulled back very far today, but if this is the leg down, then we wouldn't expect it to. Should be pushing up into ADR. So nice potential long on oil. What's this Dow up to? Nothing. Okay. Gonna add a buy stop on the last candle there. I'll see where this candle closes, but I'm probably going to go sell stop under the low. Yeah, going to go sell stop under the low there, right? So what we're doing is we're contracting at the moment. Yeah. So at some point, we are going to break out of this contraction in all likelihood and pick a direction, but possibly only to challenge recent highs or recent lows necessarily. So it might not be a big move, but if it is going to be a breakout and we are actually going to get some kind of move starting before FOMC, then I just want to try and get on it as soon as I can to maximize it, because I don't think we're going to go particularly far today. So I can obviously add on to it. So come on, lad. It seems like the US dollar indices are ranging tightly due to FOMC anticipation. Yeah. So FOMC, you have to think like a bank, right? All the banks basically and institutions, the hedge funds, everybody basically that is trading anything longer than intraday is not going to make a decision on any positions until they know where their money is going to earn the most. Yeah. So if this comes out as 5 for any reason, if it does, I mean, that's just going to go ballistic. But I don't think it will. But if it was, they are going to want to pile into the US. If it comes out as expected, that move is already factored in. So they'll be waiting for the press conference to find out what the forward guidance is on interest rates and what they think inflation is going to be doing. Then they will make their decision on where the US dollar is likely to go based on that information, which is the fundamentals. So you're not going to put any large orders into the market typically ahead of rate announcement, and you'll see the same happen for the pound and the same happen for the euro. It's just doesn't make financial sense. You're taking a gamble if you suddenly go, right, let's pile a load of US longs in, and then they come out and go, actually, we're not going to increase the interest rates. You're just going to lose money. There's no point. You wait until FOMC is out, you wait until the forward guidance is out, and then you move it, which is why we tend to get the move after or during, quite often, the press conference. But you also get huge whipsaws. So, it's a dangerous thing to trade. Always difficult news weeks. But when news is going well, it's that's how we make our money, News moves the market. We need the news to move the market. So M15, looking at this on an M15 now. So there's our open. There's the second 15, third 15. We're now inside bar. We got 3 minutes left on an inside bar. So the reason I'm putting these orders in now is because I'm playing an inside bar break. So we've got an inside bar contraction going on, which means that if price is going to move now, it needs to break that high, and then that will be either a support or resistance area somewhere around there. And if it breaks that, we're going to get a pop. So the idea is I'm getting in on the break of this candle, and then I'll add as we break that, and then I'll be looking somewhere up there for some price action to tell me whether or not we're going to get a run or not. And the same for the downside, looking to break the inside bar, and then as we push down, get in on a break down the bottom. So it's contraction. Yeah, you can't contract forever because otherwise you flatline. So it's going to go. Just don't know when, don't know where. There's a song like that. Will the direction of the market moves after the whips will be good to trade? If the ADR is extension or market reversal. So you can't tell what they're going to do. With FOMC, it is a real mixed bag. It really depends on the guidance. So what you'll often find is the market will move itself somewhere, and one of two things happen. It either moves itself and hovers for the press conference, or it moves and then comes back, which is just a knee-jerk reaction. And it's there for no reason but to grab liquidity, which is why we quite often see a double-ended stop hunt on things like that. Then, if they have held it, it depends on what is said from there. You can never tell. So it's like any trade. If I take an opening range breakout trade, I have no idea if it's going to go or not. It's either going to go or it's not. And it's the same with a news trade. If you see it push on FOMC and then it accumulate, your decision is, right, I'm going to go long, and I'm going to assume it's not going to fade. And you put your stop that way and you hope for the breakout. Or you play the fade with the stop above the high and hope they're going to fade it. Your odds, whatever happens in the news, your odds are exactly the same every time you press the button. It's going to go a direction. The thing that makes you profitable or not is where your stop placement is if you use stops. You can be right on direction and wrong. I was 100% right on direction on this thing this morning. I got the direction absolutely right. I just got out too soon. It's just a stupid mistake. But if I'd have been up here and I'd have got out up there, I wouldn't have even traded the NASDAQ this afternoon. But the reason, and a lot of these other trades, so, this, if you get stopped out, like on the NASDAQ today, I got stopped out on the NASDAQ on the opening range break. So I took a short here, it stopped me out there, and then it collapsed. If I hadn't had that stop in place, I'd have had a 2-to-1 whatever trade. I have no idea. No one has any idea where anything is going at any point in time. The only people that have an inkling are the people sitting in the banks with a huge amount of money able to press a button and move that thing in a direction. And you're not them. You never will be, and you're never going to know. So you just have to admit you are not in control. You have to get in with a risk management profile and get out when you think it's time to get out. That's why it makes this job so hard. We've been in here many times, and I've been long on something. Someone else has been short on something. We've both come out of the session winners. You can make money. The market consistently goes up and down. That's all it does. It goes up and down, and it moves through time. Your job is to get into the market at a point, and then when the market is in your favor, you get out. If you use a stop loss, all that will happen is you will get stopped out lots of times. If you don't use a stop loss, what will happen is the market will do exactly what it always does, goes up and down. But it won't kill you, which is why I made the position trading bootcamp. Yeah, there's more than one way to skin a cat. I don't know why that comes from, that saying. I don't know anybody that's ever skinned a cat, and I'm not sure it was a common practice in the past, but maybe it was. Not very nice if you think about it, is it? Of course, there's more than one way to skin a cat, but why would you want to skin a cat? Long Nasdaq. Again, danger here. Look at these wicks. So this is potentially a fade session, and that's all we're going to do is just fade up and down. So, up to you whether you want to take the chances today, but this could go either way. Cat scarves. Yeah, we can make some cat scarves. I'm going to get in all sorts of trouble. Do not promote wearing of fur, especially cat fur. I should be watching the Dow. See what the Dow's up to, really. Rather than Nasdaq on 2 charts. So a little bit more ascending triangle on the Dow. But yeah, it's not really exactly lighting my fire today. Okay, got 45 seconds left on this candle. That is 15-minute opening range. Nah, it's rejecting. I think I'm going to call this quits after this one. So if this rejects here, I suspect all we will do is wick down and take me out. And then just do the same thing all day. So if this is going to just reject these highs, which it looks like it is at the moment, the Dow's now starting to come down. I will have one more go out the lows, and that'll be it. So if this takes me out down here, I'll get short. I'll cancel that 15-minute high break off. It's just not going to get any legs. It would be really nice to be in a position at FOMC. If I can get into a position on this, either, it doesn't matter which way I go, does it? I have no idea where it's going to go. But if I can get into a position that I can get to break even before FOMC, if it goes, you're going to make a lot of money. So it's nice to get one on. If you want to trade anything today on FOMC, obviously from a bias perspective at the moment with the US dollar, I mean, the US dollar yen is the strongest buy, but pound US dollar, I would say, it all matters what comes out from the Fed, doesn't it, in the press conference? But let's say they're bullish and they're like, we are doing well, we can see it going well. We're not going to need to do interest rate rises in the future, and inflation is starting to come down, GDP is going up, blah 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 blah. The pound, we've got completely opposite on at the moment. Everybody in the UK is on strike. The economy's shrinking. We're going into recession. The government hasn't got a clue what it's doing, and everything's going wrong. So if you want to trade something at FOMC, that's your one. But you need a positive US dollar, don't you? Right. If the US dollar is going to have a negative reaction, actually, no, it's the other way around. If it's going to have a negative reaction, I don't know what you want to get on really, because there's nothing positive much out there at the moment. Yeah. I mean, US dollar Swiss is probably the best thing, I think. But if you wanted to sell it, but I don't know. I don't know what you want to do with either way. But I would be short in pound US dollar. That's the thing that is going to likely move the most. So if you want to bracket order it or what, but pound US dollar, I think, is probably your best bet out there at the moment. All depends which way it's going to go, doesn't it? But a good play at FOMC, you've got two options. You can either play the breakout of the range before FOMC. That is very risky before FOMC because you quite often will get a whipsaw. Sometimes you won't, though. You'll get that, and that is a very nice win. But the best thing really to do is to wait for the FOMC move, and then when the press conference is underway, see what the press conference does. When the press conference starts moving, that's quite often where we're going to go. So kind of waiting 10, 15 minutes. So somewhere between 7:30, 7:45 or 2:30, 2:45 New York time. And get on whatever move is starting there and get on with the momentum. We're not going anywhere. I'm just going to take another 250 loss on this by those things. So. Right, I'm going to leave it there, I think, because there's nothing much to do. I'll update in the Telegram group if this goes anywhere. If it doesn't go anywhere, if I'm quiet and don't hear from me, basically, all that's happened is I've stopped out because I think that's probably what's going to happen, to be honest. But I would like to get a trade on today that actually goes my way, just to make me feel better. If I can get $200 to $300 back, I should be happy today. But other than that, I don't think you're going to get anything today, this afternoon. It's just going to sit there. So we'll wait and see what happens in FOMC. I'm not going to trade FOMC myself, but if you are, good luck with it. You can make an awful lot of money on those moves. I might see. I like to watch FOMC and just see how it unfolds. And if I see a massive move, and there's a opportunity to fade it that looks like it could make $1,000 or something, then I'll do it. But risk tight as you can with your risk. The bracket order thing, I don't like it. I think you find with FOMC you'll just get whipsawed, but sometimes you don't. Go back in history is the best thing you can do. Go and pick the pound US dollar. Go and pick all the previous FOMCs, or rather get the Fed fund rates. Yeah. Let's go back to these dates at 7 o'clock or 2 o'clock, whatever your time, and just look at what happened, and you'll see what happened. And then the ones with the press conferences, yeah, I think they all have the press conference at the same time. So 14th, 2nd November, 21st September. Oops, 14th, 2nd, 21st. Yeah. So go and look at what happened. So look at the half an hour after that was announced, then look at the press conference, and then see what happened after the press conference. And you'll see that this is when the actual real move begins, not that. Any thoughts on order flow charts for Forex? Yeah, I use Jigsaw. Why have I got a load of icons? What the hell's that? Got a load of box icons have suddenly appeared on a load of my applications. What the hell's that? Look, these little boxes have suddenly appeared on all of my icons. Weird. But yeah, I use Jigsaw. Which is this. There's a link on, this isn't going to load because I haven't actually got an active connection at the moment. I'm not trading futures at the moment. So there's no point in doing that. So I'll shut that down. But yeah, I use Jigsaw. Go and check them out. There's a link on the website to Jigsaw. And there's a discount code as well in the Telegram group. So if you use my link, I haven't put the... Go and check out Jigsaw. There's a link to them. They're, I mean, it's, as far as I'm concerned, it's the best software out there for trading futures. They do everything. So if you want to trade futures, the main things you're going to need are obviously volume profile. If you want to use footprint, it does footprint charts. It does every type of charting you want, including heat map charting. So, which is this bit here, that's the heat map. Literally, Jigsaw does everything. With NinjaTrader and other software, you need to buy add-ons for it to do everything. With Jigsaw, everything's included. And they give you a course as well. I'm just trying to find my coupon code for Jigsaw, which gives you 10% off. Yeah, that gives you 10% off Jigsaw. But yeah, it's they give you a course as well, which teaches you how to trade order flow, which is actually really good. I got a lot out of it. But you know, like I've been beaten up today by the markets trying to scalp. I'm out. I'm short. I'm getting out of this. Cancel. Canceling these buys off. I'll have a go. I'll have a go to sell. That's it. That's my last one today. I can't take any more. I just can't take it anymore. But yeah, you think I'll be beaten up today? Futures is hugely rewarding, and it's actually really easy on a trend day. It's just really easy to make money on a trend day. On a non-trend day, it's absolutely awful. And the problem with trading prop with futures, and that's how you really want to do it, because it costs a lot of money to trade futures. One contract costs $500. So you need, if you're going to trade futures with your own money, 10 to 15K bare minimum, really. So you've got to have a bankroll. But it's hugely rewarding, you know, somewhere between $5 to $12 a tick. You are scalping ticks, so you need the best software to do that. But it is very, very hard mentally. I think I'm just too old for futures now. But yeah, hard work. I love it though. I love trading futures. I love trading heat map. I love trading market profile. It's really rewarding, market profile, because you just, when you see, you know, you see profiles and you see yourself getting outside the value area low and it pulling back, and you just know you know what it's going to do most of the time. It's just when it decides to go on a run where it doesn't do it, it's quite easy to lose money. And I find with futures, I either have days where it's almost like you're in sync with the market in futures. You either, I find, get in, and from the moment you get in, you get it right, and you're just right. And I have 100% strike rate days. I've shown them in the Telegram group before when I was doing the futures room. I just nail it every time. You just get it right every time. You get in the flow, order flow. You get into the order flow, and you're in the flow of the market. If you don't get into the order flow right, you can't get in. That's what I find. I just find it doesn't let you in because you're seeing it on a tick by tick basis. It's very difficult to get in the flow if you get out. It's like a river. Whereas with candlesticks, it's obvious what's going to happen at that level. If the breakout doesn't happen, it's obvious it's a short. Yeah. And this is what you would see on a volume profile here. Yeah. This is your value area low. This is your value area high. That's where you sell it and that's where you buy it. It's really simple. And you will find you will flow like that a lot. And you'll have your volume profile will have lots of that. And you'll just be in and out of these dips. Just ride in and out the dips. And you see it, when you see it on a ladder and you see it in an order flow and an order profile and everything, it all makes real good sense. And it's one of those things, trading, none of us, no human being was born to trade. Yeah. Nobody I've ever met that's successful in trading was a born trader. They've all learned how to trade. Everybody learns how to trade. Order flow, there's very little information you need to know. You can see what's going on in the market. It's basically seeing inside a candlestick on a granular level. If you learn that, you've learned it. There is nothing else to learn. There's no strategies. You're trading the flow of the market. So there's ways to get in and ways to get out. But with order flow, it's not if this candle gets to there, do this, blah, 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 blah. It's a totally different way of trading. But if you've got the wrong software, you'll die. So Jigsaw, I've tried everything in futures pretty much. I've traded with Bootcamp, I've traded Ninja, I've traded Tradervate, I've used multi-charts, but Jigsaw is just, I think, head and shoulders above. And it is the very first ever heat mapping futures software. Apart from Bloomberg Terminal, but we can't afford Bloomberg Terminal unless you've got $2 or $3 grand a month as a subscription. Bloomberg's out of our price bracket. But there's very little Jigsaw does that Bloomberg doesn't. So, it's kind of the retail god, I think, of software for futures. So, and all futures prop firms use Rhythmic, and Rhythmic is what you use to plug into Jigsaw. So, there you go, Jigsaw. There's a little plug for you. But seriously, go and get it. It's brilliant. If you want to trade futures. And I've also now I've just managed to get an affiliate deal with, God, it's like pulling teeth, with Take Profit Trader, and they've given me a discount code for 40% off permanent. So if you do want to trade futures, this is the firm to do it with. Apex is my backup. But Take Profit, you get paid immediately. You don't have to wait for weeks like you do with Apex. And I've got a permanent 40% off code. So if you want to trade futures, those are the guys. But make sure you use the code because that gives you the 40%. And that's for life as well. So you can get funding. At Take Profit Trader, you can get funding for futures for 100K, basically for 188 minus 40%, $118, 100K. Cheap, isn't it? Really cheap. Sorry, $198. That's already discounted. It's normally $330. So you get it for $198. Yeah, which is not a lot for 100K of funding. Compare that to a normal CFD prop firm like my Forex funds, it's half the price. But you've just got, you know, that's the thing that kills everybody in futures. Everybody over leverages in futures. And you can reset as well. No trading bots. Well, you don't use trading bots. And if you're trading market profile, footprint charts or anything like that, you're not using bots anyway. You're using market flow, so market order flow. So it's irrelevant. It's not the sort of thing you trade bots on futures. Anywho, I'm short now on the NASDAQ. Oh my God, is the NASDAQ actually going to pay me? Dow's falling out of bed. This is looking good. Finally, we got some movement. Dow, we've got movement. We've got another good 70 points to the downside on the Dow before we hit any kind of resistance, support. This is the worrying part about the NASDAQ. We're driving straight into Globex lows, which I want to see pop. So we're going to need to break, I think I put it on the chart, didn't I? Yeah, 12,031. And then we're going to run into a big round number at 1,200. Yeah, so that support, that is going to be limit order heavy. So we're going to get a bounce off of that almost definitely. What it will be, I don't know. But we've got to break that Globex. If we can break that Globex and we can make the 1,200, it's look out below. There's nothing to stop us until we get back down to that sort of area there. So very nice drop. And that's where my TPs are. And that will bail me out today. Fingers crossed. If not, that's a $750 loss. And that's me done for the day. That's $2,000. I'll be down today. And that's my max limit. So, well, 2.5 is my max limit. But I just really can't be bothered to trade this day. If this doesn't break out to the downside, it's just not worth doing, is it? We'll see. It's not even got to the Globex lows yet. Look, and it's already having a funny 5 minutes hissy fit. So we'll see. Right, I'll leave it there. Hopefully that NAS drops. If that does, that'll save me today. But other than that, there's not a lot really else going on. The FX pair. Oh, CAD Swiss is moving. Oh, I will go in a minute, honestly. CAD Swiss is moving. Yeah. Weld and his wife is hitting the buy button at the minute. Why? Because every single... What did I just say? Literally 25 minutes, half an hour ago. Yeah. Everybody is buying the bounce. They're buying that. They're buying the breakout. All their liquidity is sitting here. Not anymore. They're dead. My goodness, look at this. Might actually manage to get some of this back today. However, with the luck I'm having today, I suspect that will turn into a negative 700 over there. We'll see. We will see. But yeah, fingers crossed for the NAS. We didn't actually manage to make it out of the range low. Look at that. Come on, don't do this. Evil. Look at that. There we go. Right, let's get that low broken and let's go for it. Come on. Stop mucking about. Right, I'll leave it there. Anything you need, let me know. I'll be in the Telegram group. Good luck with OMC this evening if you're trading it. Hopefully you get it right and you can make some decent money. Lots of money to be made this evening, but also just keep it tight. Keep the risk tight this evening because it's going to be a big one. All right, have a good one, guys. I'll see you in the morning. We'll analyze the fallout of that and see if there's any more FX setups. Yeah, see if we can get some money in the bank tomorrow with the DAX. All right, have a good one. I will see you in the morning.